Ain't that the way? If anyone can see this, I'm waiting to see if this is not going to screw up this time. Oh, there we go. All right, this one's working. Good to know. All right, for those watching, hang tight for a second. I got to fix some crap because this screwed up the first time. What a pain in the butt. I do nothing different. And one time it works and one time it doesn't. Hang tight, hang tight. I apologize. I'm getting there. All right, we should be getting somewhere now. Now I do this. Now I do this. Now I do this. Now I do this. All right, there we go. All right, I think we're in the money this time. Can I have the Pokemon once again, please?
Electros.
Electros. All right, 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 604, the Electros Podcast.
Electros is an eel-like Pokemon that resembles a lamprey with a long, tentacle-like fin limb extending from its head.
Mom Brain, can you tell us about Electros, please?
Sure. Electros is an eel-like Pokemon that resembles a lamprey with a long, tentacle-like finned limb extending from its head. It has red eyes, dark blue body, and possesses clawed, paddle-like arms with yellow spots and yellow and red palms.
I know.
It has a beige fin on the upper portion of its body and beige fin-like legs below. It lives in the ocean, but comes ashore to capture prey. It can use its arms to crawl out of the ocean and its sucker mouth to suck in prey. After latching
Not
on,
as in like sucker, like sucker, like punk ass.
No.
Like bitch. Like this guy right here. Yeah, I said it. Mom Blaine.
Don't say that about him.
Mom Brain, please continue. We don't have time for this.
Kissed you on your eyeball. Guess he didn't like that. After latching onto its prey, using its sucker mouth, it drags the prey into the ocean. It electrifies prey before eating.
Eat electric shock.
Now, it doesn't electrocute them, it electrifies them. So does it bestow them with electricity and then eat it? It doesn't seem right.
I don't know. Things taste better like that.
I don't know. It's an electric type Pokemon. Its ability is Levitate, 50-50 male to female ratio.
50-50.
They weigh 177 pounds. They're almost 7 foot tall.
Oh!
I can't teach that.
Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Thanks, Mom Brain.
You're welcome.
Well, I can't get into the IRC. I've been trying to get in there for the last 15 minutes, and I've been trying to use a different client, and it just won't connect. I can't get in. I can't get in. Let's try. Yeah, I can't do that. Let's try this. I can't do that. Yeah, I've switched and it just won't let me in. So IRC people, I apologize. I cannot see you no matter how hard I try. It just won't let me. Can you get it? Did you try?
I didn't. I'm doing music.
I did try.
Do you want me to try it again right now?
No, you don't have to. It's
All right.
okay.
As soon as I'm done with music, I'll try.
I said no.
Oh, okay.
But I'll keep trying during the show. So if you're in there, and I apologize. I can't see you. But over on the YouTube chat, hello, 7, the odious 7, nothing found. Oh, boy. How do you say this name?
Oh, boy.
Joyer, Avis, Oliver Sum, Devin, Forget Your Life, Blake, Carefree Captain, and whoever else I didn't see in here. Adil, Rob, Inglorious Bastards. Thanks to all of you who joined us here. I appreciate it. So, last week's podcast, boy, what it is. God, I can't talk. What a disaster that was because, well, if you remember, we had to restart the show.
I do remember.
And long story short, I ended up having to grab the YouTube audio recording of the show and make that the download for the week because when we set up or when I restarted the show, Audacity was like, hey, you know that microphone that you use all the time? You're not going to use it this time. It decided to use the internal microphone on the laptop. Oh, my God, I got into the IRC. It used the internal microphone on the laptop. Oh, this is still pointed at you. Instead of the snowball mic. I never changed that setting ever. And the first recording that was working was using the snowball mic. So I don't know why it switched off of that. It was a disaster. So I apologize. I mean, I don't just like the thing that just happened with YouTube. I set up everything the same way I do every single week. I click broadcast, it says it goes live, and then nobody can see anything. And then I have to end it. And then I start a new one, and I literally change nothing. And then it works. So I don't know. Just you know, some of those days, some of those times. Is it just me today? No. Is it just Mom Brain today? No. Is it just us right now? Yes. I don't know. Maybe it will be. Kirby's A, never late like this, and B, always lets me know what's up, so I'm a little worried. Should we text him?
I can text him.
Yes, I'm in the IRC. So hello, Link, Triforce, and Low Camp, and Rocket, and whoever else I didn't, and whoever else I didn't see in there. Swedish Galaxy 94. Glad I could join you. What is the IRC? Says Atticus, and Robert chimes in as well. Hello, Ben. If you go to GoNintendo.com,
You may have been there before.
you can join the IRC chat over there. IRC chat. Can't say that. The IRC. Hello, Zelda Al. And you can hang out with the people that are hanging out on GoNintendo.com that are watching this right now. Hello, Kirby. I got great news for you. We started late.
Oh, did something happen? Was there like a...
Well, I was finishing up some work, but on top of that, I did everything like I normally do, hit the button, and then it just didn't go live. It told me it was live, but it wasn't live, so I had to redo everything. Hello, Krakow. But we're here now, so it's okay. Krakow. Krakow! But all you missed was the Pokemon, which I already forget its name. Electros.
Oh, either way, I apologize for being late.
It's okay. We were just wondering if you were dead.
No,
But you're not.
I sent you a text.
Did you?
Yeah, did you get it?
No.
Ooh.
Because I literally just said, usually he would text if something was wrong, and that's why I was worried if something serious was going on.
Weird.
But no, I did not get it. Just double checked. It's okay. It's okay. But we're going. We're live. It's the show. All right.
Oh, okay. The message to Kevin Cassidy failed to send.
Oh, well, that explains why.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been crazy, obviously, because the Switch is out and there's lots of stuff going on and everybody's playing the Switch, and we haven't had a chance to get like back into a regular show. I think after this week we'll really have time with a regular show. But I want to say thank you very much for the support on Parents Play. The most recent Parents Play has gotten a lot of. Oh, okay.
Just so you know, I'm not lying.
Oh no, I believed you. I don't think you to be a liar. Mom Brain, on the other hand. So the
is a liar or thinks
no,
he's
she
a liar.
knows me better.
The most recent Parents Play is Snipper Clips. My parents played Snipper Clips, and I posted that up. So obviously it's not from this week, it's from the week before, but I want to say thank you because it's getting great support. You guys said, we want to see your parents play Snipper Clips, and I said, okay. So they played it, and you guys are watching it, and you really like it. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Hello, Ralph Sothi. So with Parents Play, I have such a backlog of videos, and I need to find time to edit them. I've been slowly editing them, but I need a good chunk of time during the day where I can sit down and really focus on that stuff. When they weren't edited, I could just upload it, and that's that. But yes, now they're edited, so it takes a while. So what do I have? I have Breath of the Wild that I have to put up. I have Blaster Master Zero that I have to put up. There is stuff on the Wii U too. I swear I have like 4 episodes that haven't been uploaded yet. So I got to get on those. I got to stop recording them every week and just work on getting those edited and out to you guys. Like, you know, it's been crazy with the Nintendo news lately because the Switch is out. So I've been extra busy with all that stuff, and I haven't had the time to really edit that stuff like I want to. So I got to get back into it. Not that I don't want to, I just don't have the time. So that stuff is coming. There's more coming. Skyward Sword. They did Skyward Sword a while ago. Oh, you're talking about Skyward Sword in general. So yeah, those episodes are coming. Thank you. Yes, I want to do 1-2 Switch with them. But that's going to be a unique setup for me to record because I don't need to do a direct feed of the screen. It doesn't make sense. Drew says, make a Parents Play reacting to them watching Parents Play. I kind of like that idea. I should do that. We should do that for like April Fools or something like that.
Well, now you blew it.
Maybe they'll play a PlayStation game for April Fool's Day. What do you think of that?
Like a PS1 game?
Sure.
They said PlayStations.
What would be a good PS1? Maybe they'll just play Crash Bandicoot.
Maybe they could play like
what was that
bad Sonic game.
What was that?
It's on PlayStation,
They've done that.
But it would
what was that crappy PS1 game you just bought recently?
Fade to Black?
Yes.
Yeah. That'd be really funny if I had them play Fade to Black, but I pretended like it was good and like controlled fine, and I'd be like, guys, why can't you?
That'd be so mean.
You know what else I could do? I could totally convince my dad and probably my mom that it's a new game made to look retro. Like, this is a great idea. I really like this idea. Well, I should keep it for April Fool's Day. I should keep it Nintendo related, but pick a very bad game with horrible controls and convince them that it's new and made to look retro. Because they just played Blaster Master Zero, which obviously looks very old, but is a good game and plays well. Zilla says, I loved Fade to Black. Well, I love that series, but Fade to Black is, let's say, not an accurate representation of the quality of the previous entry in that franchise. And they were going to do a new one / pseudo remake on GBA, and that was actually in the works. But then it didn't happen, which still makes me sad. Batman and Robin was a very bad game, says Jare.
Well, that's appropriate. It was based on a very bad movie.
But he actually says Batman. B-A-T-M-A-N-D.
Batman.
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 Oh, Drew says Guitaru Man. I love Guitaru Man. Are you saying that's bad, Drew? It's going to have to kick you out.
There you go. Guitar Man is bad and Fade to Black is good. We're apparently living in opposite world.
Hamburgers eat people. All right. So we got some regular stories for this week, which I will cover with you now, because that is what we do on this show, and it's my great pleasure. All right. So GameStop. This is GameStop's Eric Bright, Senior Director of Merchandising for GameStop. He talked about the Switch launch. Kracko is talking about how Reggie called Link hot. So Reggie was on Reggie Fils-Aimé, Nintendo of America's head honcho.
Reggie.
Yes. Was on CBS this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the name of the show.
Sure.
The one that's got
you can tell
Oprah's friend on it, you
Okay.
know. Gail. No, that's what's the name of Oprah's friend? I was gonna say Gail Kim, but that's a wrestler.
I don't know what Gail's last name
Is it Gail?
Gail Godot.
Gail somebody help me in here. I know one of you guys knows. But anyway, he was on like their morning show. You know, not CBS This Morning. It was like their more newsy of morning shows. And he was on to talk about the Switch. But it was real like a softball interview, just basically like Gail King, thank you, Steel Diver. So I had the first name right.
Not bad.
Are they gonna like give her like a hardball interview?
Yeah,
About,
but one of the interviewers, and I
about
think
something
it was
really
her.
juicy?
I wasn't sure. I'm not sure if it was her, but I think it was her talking about. She's like, the girls love Link. He's pretty attractive. Link's hot, right? And she's like, you would say Link's hot, right? And Reggie goes, oh yes, Link is hot. He probably left the interview, and he's like, God damn it! Now the internet's gonna latch on to this.
Wait,
And
how did he say it exactly?
Link's hot. No, he's just like, oh yes, Link's hot. You know,
I don't think Link's hot, but I think he's.
You shut your mouth.
I wouldn't be like, yeah, he's hot. Like he's just good looking.
Scale 1 to 10. Well, you have such a weird scale when it comes to this.
Well, keep in mind, Link is blonde. Sometimes that's a turnoff for some people.
Yeah, blonde doesn't do it for me.
So
Me neither.
we were. I was on Reddit last night, as you know, and a link from Gentleman Boners came up, which is.
Yeah. I subscribe to I subscribe to Lady Boners.
Gentleman Boners is a subreddit where you have like women in like evening gowns and like dresses from like the Oscars
very
and stuff.
attractive women.
But attractive
baseball.
women, so it's not like about nudity or anything like that.
Yeah,
So a link came up.
Emma Watson comes up on Gentleman Boners.
But
a
I've
lot.
never been to that
'cause certain
subreddit.
dresses are always so like low cut.
Yeah, I've never been to that subreddit, so I went to
yeah,
it
it's a
last
good one.
night and I sorted it.
Or no, wait, I'm thinking of Emma Stone. God damn it, I get them confused all the
No,
time.
well, it's funny that you say that because
She's on there a lot.
Emma Watson, that's her name.
Hermione.
She just had that whole controversy about how she
Oh,
showed her
about,
boobs
yeah,
and all
not
that
wearing a
stuff.
bra.
Yeah. But anyway, so I clicked over that subreddit and I'm like, all right, let me see what this has to offer. So I sorted it by best of all time. I wanted to see like what the first page was of the best of the best. And there were
Who gave the best boner?
there were 4 separate entries for Natalie Dormer, the girl from Game of Thrones, who I think is super attractive. I'm like, it makes sense that she's on there.
But for some
Mom
reason,
Brain.
people always talk about how weird she
Yes,
looks.
Mom Brain is one of the ones who thinks she
Do
looks weird. Yes.
I
Look up
remember-
Natalie Dormer. You always say she's weird, and I always think she's super attractive.
Yeah, Duke Michaels was over here talking about, like maybe he wasn't being super serious, but he was talking about like how weird she looks, which I don't. I just don't get it.
I'm gonna say this is
Like maybe her eyes are.
she's unique looking in some ways, without a doubt. But Duke Michaels was joking because he thinks she's super attractive.
Okay.
We've had a couple conversations about that.
Okay.
She's your kind of attractive. She's like cute attractive. She's not like smoldering attractive.
No, but see, the thing is, when you say smoldering attractive, you mean people that are not attractive. She's on the top of Gentleman Boners multiple times.
It's official.
That is smoldering. That's not cute. Like, I think Anna Faris is cute.
Right.
I think Natalie Dormer is very attractive. So.
Well, when Duke Michaels was here and we were actually like having a real conversation about how about people we find
About
attractive.
boners.
Yeah, about the boners that we get
The
personally.
boners of the elderly.
Yeah, something I didn't mention is how when it comes to like super attractive people, like people who could be like models.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I don't find them as attractive just because they don't seem like people that I would ever like encounter in real life.
Yes.
And that's a big factor for me.
Yeah. Like runway models that are showing off new clothing and stuff. They're just
or people like Margot Robbie. Like honestly, I'm probably going to go the rest of my life without ever seeing somebody like her on the street.
Yeah.
Or like, somebody like that actually like having a conversation with me.
Steister says he said something. Natalie Dormer is the most attractive thing in this planet. There you go.
Like in the planet?
In it, yeah.
Oh, okay. She lives in the core?
Yes.
Okay.
That's where she gets her beauty from.
Oh, that's good to know.
There's basically she takes very, very attractive people to her lair, which is in the center of the earth, and drains them of their beauty. So there's withered, ugly, old people powering the earth.
It all makes sense.
I should have explained. Yeah, I thought people knew that. I thought that was common knowledge. But all right, let's do some Nintendo news.
Oh, right.
How did this happen?
It's my fault.
No. This is why I like the podcast, because all this random stuff happens. All right, Eric Bright, Senior Director of Merchandising for GameStop, says stores across the country last night, so obviously this is from a week ago, were packed with customers who couldn't wait to get their hands on a brand new Switch. We even had customers lining up as early as yesterday morning so that they could be one of the lucky ones to score one of the additional units for our walk-in customers. This is one of the strongest and most successful gaming console launches for GameStop in the last several years. For those fans who are still looking for the Switch, don't worry, we're getting more, and we're pretty sure that there are a lot of gaming fans who pulled all-nighters last night playing their new Switch, and who also called in sick to work today with gamefluenza just to stay home and play even more. Boy, if I could give a term that lets you know that an executive from a company is talking, like, Nintendo's about video games, and then you get an executive at the company that knows nothing about video games, and he says a buzz phrase or something that nobody ever uses. This is a perfect example. So this guy at GameStop works for GameStop, and he's like, yeah, I know about games. Call in work with gamefluenza. Nobody says that.
Well, because you just made it up. Like, that's how terms get started.
Well, guess what, Eric Bright? It's not catching on.
Well, you don't know that.
All right, I'll start using it. Top-rated comment comes from Fred Duck.
Great name.
And he quotes the part where Eric says most successful gaming console launch for GameStop in the last several years, and he says, let me guess, it was definitely in the top 5. Yeah, blanket statements there. We don't really have hard evidence, but they say it's going well, so that's all we need to hear. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and the Switch have set sales records for Nintendo in the Americas. Now, this was as of March 6th, so we're on the 11th now, and things are continuing to go up. But Reggie said the Switch beat out the first 2-day sales in the Americas for any system in Nintendo's history. So that's any system, portable or console. The Wii sold over 600,000 units in its first 8 days. We don't know what the Switch is at yet, because the 8th day would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, yesterday. So we haven't heard anything yet. Specific sales figures for the Switch weren't given, obviously. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was the best-selling launch title of any Nintendo console ever. And again, specific sales data was not given. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a press release from Nintendo today or tomorrow about specific numbers. Panurge Jr. says, I wouldn't have guessed it would do better than the Wii. Would have laughed at the idea, quite frankly. But this is very good news. Nintendo of America clearly got launch marketing right. Hopefully they get continuing it and building momentum right. Yeah, I agree. It seems, we are very early days, and, it could completely change a year from now. But early news is very good, setting new records for a whole bunch of places, including the Americas. Nintendo loves putting out press releases about whenever they've stopped something related to piracy. and they had a new ruling in their favor from a Canadian federal court. They had a case against Jeremy King and his business Go Cyber Shopping. Not Go Cyber Shopping, Go Cyber Shopping. And they say the case confirms that the distribution of circumvention devices, flash carts, mod chips, and game copiers such as Sky 3DS, Gateway 3DS, and similar devices is illegal. So the court awarded Nintendo $12 million against Go Cyber Shopping, including $1 million in punitive damages. The case is the first of its kind to test the Canadian Copyright Act's anti-circumvention law and resulted in a resounding win for Nintendo. So Nintendo thinks that flashcards aren't fair because people are illegally downloading ROMs and putting them on flashcards and playing them on their 3DS. And Nintendo says that's not right. And in this case, the Canadian court said that's not right as well. So another victory in the world of piracy for Nintendo. They had, it's crazy. So obviously,
Sorry, but that's not right.
It's crazy. I'm on YouTube a lot more now, and I'd say that at least 50% of the videos that I see will have an advertisement, like a banner ad that pops up underneath them. And it's like, play Super Mario online for free. And it's to some, random site that has a ROM of the game just streaming on their website, and you can play it there. And I'm like, man, look at this stuff is all over the place. Nintendo's trying to fight websites that dump ROMs and let people download, but there's all these other people that are just putting up ROMs and letting people play them, and they're advertising for it on YouTube. I don't know what's crazier, the fact that they do it, or the fact that they're bold enough to make an advertisement for it and put it on YouTube and get people to go there. Like, it's crazy. The people that do rip-off mobile games with, like, Pokemon assets and all that blows my mind. I don't know. Maybe it's all coming from foreign places where they're not as familiar with the laws and think they can get away with it because they're not in the States. I don't know. Again, we're talking more about Switch and Zelda sales. This goes for Europe as a whole. In Europe, the Switch sold more in its launch weekend than any other Nintendo hardware in history. And Zelda is the biggest selling Nintendo launch title ever in Europe. And Zelda beat out the previous record holder, which was, Monbrain?
Twilight Princess?
No, we're not talking about Zelda beating out Zelda. We're talking about Zelda beating out the best-selling launch title ever in Europe. But Twilight Princess would be correct because it launched with the Wii. Yes, this is all platforms.
Oh, well, what came with Wii Sports?
Oh, very good. Wii Sports, that's correct.
Okay.
Beats out Wii Sports. So a victory in Europe for Nintendo. I don't know if I made it a top story or not, but the system's doing very well in specific parts of Europe as well, like France and Spain, and there's some other ones in there too. Some guy has the first comment, and he says, "Damn, boy, Nintendo's going hard in the paint." That's what the Usos say, Well, no, I'm sorry. The evil Usos don't say that. They're bad guys now. The good Usos used to wear shirts that say, go hard in the paint. That's what they would have said, but now they're bad guys. Why? Zelda's director, Hidemaru Fujibayashi, talked about finding fun in dying in video games. This is an interview with Verge. He says, "There's actually kind of a fun to be had from falling and dying." You would know that, Mumbre. You learn to be careful and cautious. And we felt that that gave a lot of players the emotional preparedness to take on the rest of the world. So we ultimately decided that we should let them die. So they have a development tool that lets them see who dies, where they die, how they died, when they died, all that stuff. And they were looking at how often people were dying and where they were struggling and what parts of it were really giving them trouble. And they used that information to balance things out rather than just let them rather than put the game out and have everybody dying in the same place over and over and over again. So they tried to balance it out, and we got the game that we got right now. And they said when they demoed the game at E3, they saw people playing in ways that they never even envisioned. And when they saw that, and they saw how positively people were reacting, they were like, all right, we're going in the right direction here. Our play testing has been making sense, but people are having fun. First comment comes from Hero of Time 32, and he says, so we ultimately decided that we should let them die. Haha, this guy is awesome. Yeah, I don't know how many times you hear someone say that at Nintendo, even if it's in context with something else. Here you go, France. The Legend of Zelda and the Switch. Here's France. So, little known fact, France, huge Nintendo fans. That's not a joke. The French are very into Nintendo. Why is that?
The French.
Oh, the French. Why is that? Why are the French, I was going to say, why are the France? Why are the French so into Nintendo? I don't know.
Yeah, it could be any number of reasons.
I thought you said Benny. Could be Benny Hill.
No.
Could be Jerry Lewis. So in France, on Friday alone, the Switch sold 105,000 units. Hello, Josh. And that's the biggest first-day sales for a console in history. And I want to stress, that's not Nintendo. That's any console ever. So now the Switch in France is the best-selling day one console ever in the history of video games. Zelda Breath of the Wild sold 96,000 copies. So if you put those two numbers together, for day one, the attach rate for Breath of the Wild on Switch was over 91%. Over 91% of people that bought a Switch bought Zelda. And if you're wondering, Breath of the Wild also sold on that day 34,000 copies on the Wii U. So altogether, Zelda sold more copies than the Switch sold units on day one, but that's split between Switch and Wii U. And then on top of that, digital sales weren't included, so we don't know how many people went the digital route instead of buying retail. Nurio has the first comment, and he says, previous article, Switch and Zelda sets record in Europe. This article, oh, and France too. And then he has the meme of the guy that's like, like, he's basically saying, isn't France in Europe? And yes, I know France is in Europe, but this is numbers specific to France, where it's set a very specific record for France. That's why I don't want to just lump Europe. You know, if America was like, here's the sales for a Switch in New Jersey, then I would post those separately too, but they don't. Why? Why don't we do that?
Oh, no.
Maureen, what you looking at over there?
None.
I don't believe you.
Is it something fun?
Something fun, no doubt?
No.
I'm going to cut that. We're not doing it. I'm going to cut the cheese. All right. So The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has set a new record on Metacritic. So we know it had a whole bunch of perfect 10s, but it now holds a record, and it's a very, very important record, a very big record. Well worth talking about and being proud of. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has now garnered the most perfect scores ever for a video game on Metacritic.
Holy crap.
There is no other game on Metacritic that has more perfect 10s than Breath of the Wild. Last I checked, it was something like 43 reviews had a perfect 10 for the game. So I don't know what game is going to be able to topple that. I think this record's going to stand for quite some time. I mean, I would guess the next game that's got a shot is Super Mario Odyssey, if things go well enough. I don't know. I mean, that's just an early guess, but I can't think of... Sure, let's say, I guess the next one could be Mass Effect Andromeda, but I don't think that's going to get perfect 10s. There might be a couple in there, but 43 of them, I don't think so. What other big games are coming out this year? Or coming out that could possibly get so many perfect 10s? Super Mario Odyssey is all I can think of. Maybe The Last of Us 2 when that comes out, which I'm sure will be 2018.
They're making a sequel to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anything that'll topple it. We're going to have to wait quite some time, I think, to see that. Blake says, Metacritic is completely stupid. Well, user scores at least. Well, I don't give review scores on GoNintendo because I don't agree with review scores personally. Not saying I don't agree with like what scores are given. I just don't agree with the idea of giving a game a score. But that's just me. I have nothing against review scores. It's my own decision. But I feel like the industry became too focused on Metacritic because there were so many companies that were like, all right, guys, you're going to make a game that gets an 80% or higher on Metacritic. It's not how you make games. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, also the problem is like it's an aggregator, right?
Yes.
So if there's only like, one or two actual reviews for a game,
yeah,
that can make or break it.
Yep, it's very true. All it takes is one, depending on how many others are there. Yeah, that you can really have your game hurt by that. And then when you look at user reviews, which is another one of the billions of toxic places on the internet, user reviews were zeros and ones because people were like, IGN got paid for this review. So-and-so got paid for this review. But, let's say those people were thinking logically, which they aren't. In their minds, they're like, those outlets got paid for those perfect Zelda reviews, but for some reason, Nintendo didn't pay them to review the Switch and give it a perfect 10 out of 10. So I guess that's just an oversight on Nintendo's part, or maybe they didn't have the money.
They were so focused on Breath of the Wild.
That's what it is.
Or they only had enough money.
Yes, they're like, we got enough money for one. What are we going to do here? Wobble Bobble says, well deserved. I haven't had nearly as much chance to play it so far as I would like, but the sense of stepping into another world is greater than with any other game already. Mom Brain, you'll be talking a little bit later about your experiences with the game because you began it last night.
I did.
Mom Brain.
What, dear?
Do you want Netflix on the Switch?
I do.
Do you want Hulu on the Switch?
I don't really care so much.
Do you want Amazon on the Switch?
Yes, number one, I want Amazon.
Amazon Video. Why is that?
Well, because I have Prime.
This man in the high
I mean, you have Netflix, which means I have Netflix. But, I mean.
Do you have Prime?
Yeah.
And I have Prime?
Yeah.
Why do we both have Prime?
Well, I don't know.
That's a good question.
Okay.
Can you share your Prime with me?
I believe so. Am I? Well, if you're watching videos, you just use my login.
I watch videos through mine.
I know. We don't both need
Why
it.
don't you
But what if I gotta
the
order
same?
something that's for you and I don't want you to know about it and it's a surprise?
Never happened, ever.
That's so not true.
A gun?
You can go sit on a rock.
A cyanide pill? Get it tomorrow with Prime.
I would, right now, I would probably just knock you out.
You better
a cyanide pill disguised as a gummy vitamin?
You better shove or I'll smack that boot.
I will piss the chair.
Reggie
Go into
Fils-Aimé
your
talked to the Washington Post, and he says, we're talking to a range of companies about other services. Companies like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, things that will come in time. In our view, these are not differentiators. What differentiates us is the way you play with the Switch and what you can play. And that will continue to be our focus into the future as we continue driving this platform. So Nintendo's saying, hey, listen, we got the Switch, and our focus on the Switch is video games because you can play video games on it in unique ways and get games you're only going to get on the Switch. So I said that other stuff's important, but we're going to work on that later.
I agree with him. I think while it will be wonderful to have those capabilities on the Switch,
yeah,
the purpose of the Switch is not, it's not another goddamn tablet.
Whoa.
Like, you know what I mean? It's not. It's a gaming system, and it's meant to play games, and there are certain games you can only play on it.
But people nowadays don't want video game systems that play video games. They want them to do all different other things. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong.
Right. I'm not either. I'm just saying that I think that they're going about it the right way. If getting the Netflix and whatever else capabilities on the Switch would have delayed it coming out, then I'm all for, like, whenever they can get it, they can get it. But I want it out as a system first and foremost. And if you don't want the Switch, you should, because Breath of the Wild is...
But you can get that on Wii U.
But you can't play it the same way.
That is correct.
I'm just saying that I have a crush on Link.
Link is hot.
He's not hot, but he's crush worthy.
We've already debunked you and your hotness.
There's a big difference between hot and crush worthy.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No, there's not.
YouTube boys, crush worthy.
Mads
Mikkelsen, hot.
See, Mads Mikkelsen,
hot
by general standards, not even attractive. Also, Star Wars boy, not attractive.
Oh, he can be.
Wait, is this?
He could be hot.
It's not the same as Star Wars Kid, is he?
No, you know, the guy in the new Kylo Ren, yeah.
Oh, Adam Driver. Why didn't you just say that?
I don't remember his name.
He's hot when he's moody, Kylo Ren.
He's very.
This is the difference.
Yeah, like
you don't. We're talking about physical looks. You're talking about personality.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But he can be hot. Mads Mikkelsen.
If Hannibal looks any different, any other way, he could look like any other actor. But if he still acted like Hannibal, you would find him just as attractive.
No, because Mads Mikkelsen I find attractive in pictures that are not.
Yes, because you think of Hannibal.
No, that's not true.
You had no interest, desire, or taste for Hannibal before you even knew that he was Hannibal. It's true.
Well, aren't you lucky that I like personalities?
I knew that was coming. First comment comes from JLA Timer 11, and he says, "I understand why people want it, but it's not even in my top 10 things I want from the Switch at this point." I want to know that top 10 list. What is in there? What does he want? I mean, me personally, I'm not going to use any of that on the Switch.
Pornhub's probably in there somewhere.
Oh, we have a porn story this week.
Oh, that's right. I saw the image that you used for the news story.
One of my favorite images from that game. Yeah, I'm not going to use any of that stuff on the Switch because the Switch is in my game room, and like we have the Fire TV in the living room, which is where we watch everything else. So I don't ever plan on bringing the Switch somewhere to show to people and be like, "Oh, and let's watch Netflix together."
Well, Dan and I and Lily were in the living room over the weekend when you were in the game room playing with the girls.
Yes.
Snipper clips.
Yes.
And we were talking about how like that's one of the drawbacks of having the game room separate from the living room, because we couldn't all be in there together because it's not big enough. Or maybe we just need to get a better seating setup.
I'm gonna be brutally honest here. Here's the real problem. When they sit down somewhere, they don't like to get up. That's what the real problem is.
The real.
This is a sad story. This again comes from Nintendo's Hidemaru Fujibayashi, and he talks about how obviously Zelda was in development for a very long time, and during a large portion of that time, Mr. Iwata was alive, but he passed away during the development of the game. And Mr. Fujibayashi shares a really nice story, or sad/nice story. He says, "When Iwata passed away, there were moments we'd come up with an idea which we'd be excited to talk to Iwata about. Then we'd remember he was no longer here. Miyamoto told me it was the same for him. He'd come up with an idea at the weekend and would feel excited to speak to Iwata about it on Monday, only to remember. The sadness runs deep. This is approaching spiritual talk, but we had the sense that he was watching over our work. That became a source of motivation, a drive for us to improve and be better." Well, it certainly looks, although Iwata passing was a sad thing, it looks like the motivation was definitely there, because look at how fantastic the game is being reviewed by fans and review outlets alike. So maybe Mr. Iwata was watching over them, looking down on their work and smiling at them, and it's crazy that he's gone. First comment comes from Professor Germs, and he says, "Hold back the tears, old boy." Yeah, it's not a happy story, but still a nice one. At least the second half of it, not the half of him dying. That's not nice. North America, what came out on Switch, or what came out on Wii U, 3DS, and Switch this week? Snipper Clips got a free demo, so if you're on the fence about Snipper Clips, you can just grab the demo and try it out for free. Also available is Blaster Master Zero from our friends at Indie Creates. Blaster Master Zero is an 8-bit style action-adventure game that harkens back to the golden age of the NES. Using the original 1988 NES game Blaster Master from Sunsoft as the base, the new game introduces new areas and bosses, new gameplay elements such as extra sub-weapons, improved gameplay, a more robust scenario, and expanded exploration mechanics. On the Wii U Virtual Console, you can now get Bomberman 64 if you've never played that. One of the games they said would never come to the Virtual Console, yet here it is. Also new this week are a whole bunch of Neo Geo games on the Switch. You can get Nam 1975. Thank you. It's like I was having a Nam flashback.
1975.
Here we go. The King of Fighters 98, Waku Waku 7, Metal Slug 3, World Heroes Perfect, Shock Troopers, all available on the Switch. Man, I don't care how many times I play Metal Slug. I'm always down to play it again. I just love Metal Slug, all of them. Also available is Voez, V-O-E-Z, Voez, which is a rhythm game for the Switch, but it's very important to point out, this game can only be played in handheld mode. You cannot play this on the TV because it's a touchscreen game. And I'm going to get that this weekend because I love rhythm games, and this one is fantastically reviewed. And it's been on mobile for a year, but my understanding is on mobile, you have to buy a whole bunch of the songs individually. So each, you get a base amount of songs for free. And in other songs you have to pay real money for, and you can spend upwards of $100 getting all the songs. On the Switch eShop version, I believe you pay $25 at the start, and you get all 100+ songs. So much cheaper on the Switch, but plays just the same. Frontier Days is available on the 3DS. Pink Dot Blue Dot is on the 3DS. Blaster Master Zero is also on the 3DS. Mini Sports Collection is on 3DS. Wii U got Candy Hoarder, and on the 14th of March, Wii U will get Blue Collar Astronaut. I don't know what that is, but I like that name. First comment comes from Mr. Anti-Guy, and he says, I'm definitely getting Metal Slug 3 and King of Fighters 98, but perhaps I'll just hold off until they are patched. Yeah, there's a brightness issue and an audio issue on these games. Not anything that kills the games by any means, but they are noticeable. And Hamster, the company behind these ports, has said they are very aware of the issue. There's a patch coming out this week. I believe they said the 16th the patch will be out. So it's right around the corner. I wouldn't worry about it. But you can get the games now, and they're totally playable. Just a little dark and some random audio issues. But, again, nothing major. Major? Europe, this week's digital downloads for Nintendo systems. Europe also got Blaster Master Zero. They also got Nam 1975. They got Mario Sports Superstars, which doesn't come out here for a couple more weeks. And if you want to see footage of Mario Sports Superstars, go over to Nintendo's YouTube channel because he's got a ton of footage of each sport. On YouTube, his username is Nintendan1, but it's NINTENDAAN1. You can see a whole bunch of footage there. Mini Sports Collection. There's a special demo for the Box Boy series. So if you've never played any Box Boy games, and the last Box Boy game is coming out, which is called, I don't know, Bye Bye Box Boy? They called it Goodbye Box Boy in Japan, but I think it's called Bye Bye Box Boy here, or Europe. Yeah, Bye Bye Box Boy.
I still like my title.
What was yours?
Good Boy Box Boy.
I like that one better. You're right. Well, if you never played the games, you can get a demo and experience what the series is all about. And there's also a special demo for Yokai Watch 2, Bony Spirits and Fleshy Souls.
Ew.
That's
You
available.
know what I'm talking about.
And
Those fleshy
a whole bunch of DLC for Azure Striker Gunvolt is available, like a whole bunch. That is paid DLC. 3DS, new 3DS only got Pink Dot, Blue Dot. Wii U got Candy Hoarder, Bomberman 64, and then there's special deals on some jazz. So big weeks for Europe and North America as far as digital downloads go, which is not surprising because there's a new system out. First comment comes from Nintendo 2Cop, and he says, what a terrible start to change. What a terrible start to the change in the European eShop. Well, I'm sorry. Oh, maybe he's talking about the release date of the press release because it came out Thursday, which is the same day the North American press release comes out. Europe's used to getting their press release on Monday to find out what's coming out on Thursday, but this week they got it on Thursday. Reggie sat down for a Facebook interview, not with Facebook, but on Facebook, and this is on Nintendo's Facebook page. So it's like a 20-minute interview with a lot of softballs in there. But we got some details worth talking about. He says the Switch's first 5 days make it the best-selling Nintendo console in that time frame. So still doing better than the Wii after the first 5 days. Some third-party games are priced higher due to third parties deciding that, and Nintendo wants you to know that they don't make that decision. He says Zelda sales in Japan are doing very well, and Zelda sales internationally are doing very well. Reggie says cloud saves on the Switch would be great, but he doesn't have anything to confirm at this time. So take that how you will. He was asked if Smash Brothers is coming to the Switch, and he says, "Our philosophy at Nintendo is to have one great experience of each franchise on each console. So in the future, who knows when, you can anticipate that all of our big franchises will be addressed." So again, take that as you will. Does that mean a port of the Wii U one or a brand new one? No. He says there's more surprises coming to the 3DS. And on virtual reality and augmented reality, Reggie says that Nintendo will do more with that tech when they believe they become mainstream. So it's kind of funny because Nintendo had AR on the 3DS, but hasn't really done all too much with it. And they haven't done anything with virtual reality, but they keep saying once it becomes more mainstream, we'll do something with it. Hero Time 32 says, our philosophy at Nintendo, he quotes Reggie by saying, our philosophy at Nintendo is have one great experience for each franchise on each console. And Hero Time 32 says, Amiibo Festival, because Wii U didn't get a main Animal Crossing game. It just got the Amiibo Festival party game, which, yeah, wasn't great. There's also no new main Metroid on the Wii U. Mom Brain.
That's also true.
Animal Crossing?
That's also true. Can I please have a paper towel? I sneezed and I'm all congested now.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you while you were back there because they were back there. Kleenex can't handle what I got.
I need something super absorbent.
Gross.
I'll skip that until Mom Brain gets here because I want her to hear this. So there's a video on YouTube that chronicles or puts together or combines all of the issues that people have had with their launch Switch units. So it's a video that features like, I don't know, let's say over 20 different issues. The problem is
that they're all lies.
The problem is those videos, thank you, tend to make people think that those are all the issues that every system has, which is not true. And it makes the whole situation overblown and detracts from the elements that are big issues and adds to the negativity with issues that aren't really widespread. So in this video, there's like the dock issue, the Joy-Con issue, blah, blah, blah. But you watch this video and it gets spread all around the internet and it has like 7 million views or something like that. And everybody's like, look, every Switch is bad. The problem is, every launch of a piece of hardware from a game company, or any company really, has issues right at the gate. The question is, are those issues widespread or not? So look at something like the PS4. When that launched, it had an issue where it would spit out discs. You'd be playing a game and randomly would spit your disc out. That happened to a number of people. Was it widespread? No, not at all. Did it get covered a lot? Yes, of course it got covered a lot. Got overblown. The iPhone, whatever iPhone it was, people were like, look at how easy it bends when I put it in my pocket. That became overblown. Is it a real issue? No. Issue for a small amount of people. So then you look at things like the Joy-Con connectivity issue and the docks scratching people's screens. Does this happen to some people? Yes. Is it a big issue? According to Nintendo, no.
What's the percentage?
They don't give an official percentage, but they do say.
Oh, that's a little shady.
Yep. Of course
Well, they don't. Hold
Of course
on.
they wouldn't give a percentage.
Hold on. They need at least a month's worth of data before, like they.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get, so they put out 2 million units. They need to get information on every unit they can, and this was asked 6 days into the system launching. So Nintendo says we don't have a specific number for you, but we can tell you that it's perfectly in line with what we've seen on our other hardware launches. They said there's nothing like where they're like, oh my God, so many people are getting in touch about this. This is a major issue. This is a big flaw. They're saying it's completely in line with what they've seen on other systems. And they also said that anybody
they would say
anybody that's having this issue can contact Nintendo and they will fix it right away. So if you have anything like the Joy-Con syncing issue or the dock scratching your system or seems like your dock is a little narrower than it's supposed to be or whatever issue it is, get in touch with Nintendo because they want to know. So Reggie again says these issues are not widespread. They are collecting data on them. And if you are having issues, all you have to do is get in touch with Nintendo and they will take care of it.
Did you see the person on Reddit who was like, hey, you know what would be a great idea? If you sent your Switch complaints to Nintendo instead of just posting them on
Yeah.
Reddit.
But Reddit gets you karma. Well, here's the other thing. Depends on how angry you are. So, like, say you're really, really, really angry about a Switch issue. You could get it fixed, and that's that. But because you're angry, you want other people to be angry. So you got to go on Reddit and trumpet it. Now, the other thing is say they got in touch with Nintendo multiple times and Nintendo didn't do anything and wanted to pay for them to fix it. And I'd be like, Nintendo's being an asshole about this. I'm gonna get their attention. And then you put it on Reddit to trumpet the whole thing and blow it up, and then Nintendo will respond. So I don't know. I can tell you I haven't experienced any issues with anything. I can tell you that I do know people in press that had issues before it came out, the Joy-Con thing, which we talked about. But that was it. So like the screen scratching thing, I can tell you I've seen that issue with 3 people. Not that I know personally, I mean in coverage. It's hard to separate the coverage of the issues online from the amount of people that are actually experiencing the issue. And again, I'm not saying those issues aren't there because they happen with every system. What I want to know, just as everybody else does, how widespread they are. I don't want to. It's no doubt overblown to some point now, but we still need to know what's the amount of people that are having this issue. So Nintendo's looking into that, and we'll have more data on it. But like I said, if you have the issue, get in touch with Nintendo. They will fix it. Mr. Peanut Butter says, I've experienced neither of those issues. My issue is the very poor Wi-Fi connection. Again, this is something that people complain about with the Wii U, and now the Switch, that it has poor Wi-Fi. My Wii was fine. My Wii U, I had poor Wi-Fi, so I bought the Ethernet adapter. My Switch is fine. So, I don't know. But yeah, again, every system. I mean, PS4 also had some kind of controller connecting issue, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I mean, Xbox 360 is the most well-known one, and I think it's rather widespread. The Red Ring of Death.
Mm-hmm.
I think as far as hardware launches go, that as far as any game system goes, that was the biggest one that I can think of, experienced by a large amount of people over a large amount of time. But yeah, this is the way it goes. And you know the old saying, for every piece of hardware, if you buy a new piece of hardware at launch, you are a beta tester. So that's the way it goes. Why doesn't Link wear his traditional hat in Breath of the Wild?
Because it looks lame.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much.
Yeah.
This is Breath of the Wild art director Satoru Takazawa. He says, as the graphic fidelity has increased, it becomes more difficult to make that traditional Link hat look cool. As the game becomes more realistic, it's difficult to present it in a way that's appealing. If you look at Twilight Princess, I really made the hat long so it would flap in the wind and move around. But because of that, people were like, what's he got? What's in that hat? We're reaching our limits as to how we can make it look cool. So there you go. Now, are there more traditional hats like that in Zelda? or in Breath of the Wild? I don't know. You're going to have to play it to find out. But right off the bat, Link doesn't even wear a hat. I'm wearing a bandana in my game. So what?
Like you do in real life.
What of it? Yeah. And in my game, it makes Link climb faster. So I need to start climbing things and see if my bandanas do that. Airtane says, I'll admit that Takezawa does have a point there. I've been using some interesting weapons in Breath of the Wild, such as a broom, and it doesn't look as good as Link walks about. The bristles flap around and look weird. So Airtane is being sarcastic. We cover that. Analysts have said that they expect the Switch to ship 8 million units by Q1 2018, and they also talk about the hardware issues. So this is specifically IDC Research Director for Gaming, VR, and AR, Lewis Ward. He says 8 million units worldwide through the first quarter of 2018. He says Switch is on track to ship 2 million by the end of March, so that's a solid start. I expect the Switch to sell much better in its first year than Wii U, but fewer than the Wii did in the same period. Breath of the Wild is being heralded as one of the best games of the year already. I suspect that this Zelda launch title is a key reason why first week sales have been strong. And then friend of the site, Dr. Sirkin Toto, he's CEO of the consultant agency Kantan Games. He says the Joy-Con syncing issue is overblown, just like Apple's Bend Gate a while back. The screen of death is a known problem for all types of consoles, especially first versions. It's not a mass phenomenon. Sorry, and that's from a doctor. He's a doctor, so that means he's smarter than the rest of us.
What kind of doctor is he?
I don't know. Not a sawbones doctor.
Well, no.
This is what a doctor does. This is a saw and this is a bone. Mm-hmm. Some guy says, just want to reiterate my prediction that it's going to outpace the Xbox One in 2 years or less. We shall see, my friend. All right, Mom Brain, I waited for you.
Okay.
Leading internet pornography site YouPorn has posted up their traffic for March. They did February 5th to March 5th, and they had a significant traffic drop at the end, or in the first week of March, specifically on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Why is that?
Breath of the Wild. Because
the Switch and Breath of the Wild came out, and they crunched the numbers. So the day the Switch came out, their traffic dropped by 15%. 15% of a website's total traffic.
Well, what
in the world of porn?
I want to know what their normal traffic is, because I want to know what 15% of that is. Yeah, 15% of 100 isn't really so big.
It's a porn website.
So, but I don't know what like average traffic is for a porn
go look.
website.
Go look.
How would I find that out?
Go on Alexa.com and type in YouPorn.
Alexa.
Search porn.
Search porn statistics.
So went down 15%.
Who uses YouPorn? Is it YOU or just you?
Yes, you're gonna find out who uses it. Went down by 15% on Friday, 17% on Saturday, and 13% on Sunday. And they say this is all because of Switch and Legend of Zelda. People are playing that game.
Didn't this also happen when Fallout 4 came out?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a drop. But here's the best part. YouPorn says while their traffic dropped because of that launch, search terms for Nintendo characters went up.
That's right.
Link. The search term Link on YouPorn saw an increase of 164%. Damn. And searches for Zelda were up 102%. There's proof that Link is hotter than Zelda. And then on top of that, blanket search terms for Nintendo went up by 37%. Terms people were searching for: Mario, Princess Peach, and Bowser.
Oh, they were going to say Waluigi.
Waluigi, I wish.
Link is definitely more ambiguous.
Yes. And just so you know, just to break it down, Princess...
Most people spend 6 minutes, 31 seconds on YouPorn.
Princess Peach searches went up 16%. Mario searches went up 24%. And Bowser went up 23%. So a lot of Bowser fans in there.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Our top-rated comment comes from Immediate Muffin, and he says, "So that's why people keep throwing a fit for an internet browser on Switch." Yeah. I was saying on today's big story that a lot of people use their gaming platforms to browse porn.
You're gonna bring back the Opera browser
because they're little kids, or not little kids, they're young adults. And they can't exactly browse porn on the family computer because that's in the living room or something like that. Yeah. But the game console's in their bedroom, so they just close their door and they fired it up and they're like, "I'll play Call of Duty," but they're really watching Call of Booty. Think about it. Oh, apparently they're really watching Bowser.
You can't monthly unique visitors.
Yeah.
You can't look at. You have to have an advanced plan.
So what can you see?
It's global ranking. It's ranked in the United States.
Tell me global ranking.
244th.
It's the 244th most visited website in the world. Mm-hmm. Does that give you an idea of overall traffic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm going to do some porn research here. I'm loading up something real quick. Oh. Let's see. So about 10 million people a day.
Okay.
According to that.
I guess that's a lot.
So a 15% or a 17% drop in traffic. Yeah. Yeah, it is. All right. That's all your top stories for today. Kirby.
Yes.
What have you been playing?
I've really just been playing Let It Die this week.
Oh.
That's actually the reason I was late today.
Oh, yeah, because you get into situations with that game where you can't exactly leave.
Yeah, I was trying to find my way back to the waiting room.
Excuse me.
Just so I could exit the game.
Well, I completely understand that.
Thank you.
Those games are always scary because you don't know like when you're going to be able to get out of them.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so.
Your only option is like old school. Well, I'll leave the system on and turn off the TV.
Well, actually, you can't even do that because like.
That's right. Because people. Yeah.
It's like Dark Souls. You can't actually pause the game because you can still be killed. Yeah.
You got a bug crawling up your leg there, dude.
The menu open. Oh my God! What is that?
It's one of those elder bugs.
It's an elderberry. Put them in the pellet stove.
Oh.
So yeah, I've managed to get all the way up to the 13th floor as of this morning.
Oh.
Yeah. Also, so the when you get to the 10th floor, you fight like a boss, the real boss. Apparently, the other two bosses I fought before that were just mini bosses. But yeah, once you beat the boss on the 10th floor, you apparently unlock the ability to select a fighter with a higher rating.
Oh.
Which, yeah, for the longest time I was confused why. It's okay. Why it was so easy to max out your fighter. Yeah. So yeah,
because you were playing with a crappy fighter.
Exactly. I was playing with a fighter who only had like a 1-star rating. Apparently. Yeah. Apparently. Yeah.
I knew about that, but I didn't know when you could like pick somebody different.
And so yeah, it's made things a little bit easier. Well, not too much easier. Because
I don't want to misconstrue things.
Because yeah, I'm still like stumbling across like new bosses and new haters.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with the haters is I'm always
they're gonna hate. That's the thing.
They're always gonna hate, obviously, but it sometimes I'm not sure if they're just like AI enemies or if they're actually like real people, because like sometimes they behave like actual people controlling a video game avatar would behave, or sometimes they'll just like stand in one spot.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell sometimes.
I know exactly what you mean.
But yeah, it's obviously it's really drawn me in. I've become very addicted to it.
Yeah, that's Suda. He made something special. Well, he always tries to.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's more addicting than say something like, Dark Souls or Bloodborne is.
I'm gonna tell you why. I know why.
Maybe it's just because it's just a little bit easier.
It's because it's a tower. There's something about that. When a game starts off,
yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
And it's like you start at the bottom and you work your way up to the top of a tower. I'm like, yes, I am excited for this. I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's weird
because there's once you get to the top of a tower, you can't get any higher.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I watch movies and they'll be like, we need to get these 3 things. I'm like, yeah, this is exciting. I don't know why. Just like maybe like a very clear-cut goal, like climb the tower or get the things, or like
it's very it's very
tangible.
Yeah, like
it's just
the number 3 or
just something about it.
Or the top of the tower.
Yeah, I guess that's what I mean. That's how I feel when I play. Like I heard about the game and it was Suda 51 and I was really into it. But when they were like talking about, when I heard that you start at the bottom floor of a tower and you have to work your way up, I'm like, yeah, I can do this. I want to. I don't know. It's just really interesting.
I'm trying to think of a similar game, like maybe Magic Sword by Capcom.
Yeah.
Which was in a tower.
Yeah, no, I don't. Give me a tower. That's all I need.
And something I forgot to mention was there's like so many detours in this tower and dead ends and stuff. And that's part of the fun is like going back and trying to get to a room on a floor that you couldn't get to before.
It's part of the fun until you walk into what you think is the way to go, and then like a wall drops behind you, and you're stuck in like.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, there's a lot of dead ends, a lot of traps, a lot of time wasted.
This was early on, obviously, but I saw one room that had like it's something to pick up in it, and it was just like a circular room, not big.
There's a lot of those.
And I walked in.
Yeah, those rooms always have like a lot of like crafting supplies and stuff. And like the moment you go for like the silver briefcase, that's when like enemies get.
Yeah, it was. All I remember is it was a very tiny room and 4 guys dropped in out of nowhere, and I was like, oh god! Somehow I survived it, but I was like, from here on out, I'm not taking the bait.
I've gone through that scenario like so many times now. I'm used to it.
So you play anything else, or that's it?
That's it.
Mom Brain.
Yeah.
There we go. Mom Brain, what have you been playing?
Oh, a little Breath of the Wild. Yeah. So I decided to start playing yesterday, and I wanted to make sure I had like lots of time. So I nestled in on my Friday evening, and I decided it was time to play. And I don't want to give away anything, really, specific, because I'd be upset if someone did that to me. But I will say that I played for a couple hours, right?
Yeah, if not a little more.
Yeah. I was completely hooked from the very first second I played. I got a feeling of almost like homesickness when I was playing. You know, that like I was somewhere really familiar, but couldn't get to that place that I knew, which was a really interesting feeling to have.
So is that a bad thing or a good thing?
It always takes me a little while to bond with Link in the beginning of a new Zelda game because I have such an attachment to like the past ones I've played before, you know? But by the time I was finished playing yesterday, I felt like completely what's the word I'm looking for? Like
aroused.
I'm really in.
Familiarized?
Yeah, I'm like totally sold on the game.
And you've
Not that I didn't.
And you've done nothing.
Well,
Oh, you've done nothing.
right. I mean,
For those listening, Mom Brain hasn't left the plateau yet.
I did. That was the last thing I did was I left the plateau.
Oh.
When I picked up the controller to show you how to turn off the system,
I was out of the plateau and into another place.
are you sure?
Yeah, on my way somewhere.
Oh, okay.
That first.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're really out into the wild then.
If you will. I really, really enjoy the little critters of nature that I've been encountering. That's not giving anything away, is it?
No.
Can I talk about my experience with...
I don't know what you're saying. The blessing?
the one critter that I really liked?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so...
Is this like an important character?
No.
No, there's like there's all kinds of animals all over the place.
Yeah.
And there are these wild boar, and they're really big, but they're like, they're real fat, and they
I
have,
knew you were gonna say.
but they have kind of stubby legs,
Mhm.
and you hear them like around, and you look and you find them,
this little piggy.
but they're like super skittish. So way early on, I was like, does he want to be my friend? And so I was running after it, and it kept like running away, and it would stop, and then it would run away.
Yeah, so it's like Mom Brain in real life. The animal obviously doesn't want to interact with her, so she goes after it more.
So out of nowhere, all of a sudden, it's fed up with me wanting to be its friend, and it just turns around and bam, butts me, like tries to gore me. And I was like, fine, then we won't be friends. I just really wanted to pet it.
I can't believe I
It's
haven't
so fat.
mentioned this to you. You're going to see it at some point. You might not see it for months and months from now. But there is an animal that you are going to go nuts
How
about.
fat is it?
It's very
Is
fat.
it a capybara? Is it
Oh
a
my
fat
God.
capybara?
No. It's not that. I'm not going to give you any more hints. You are guaranteed to see it because it's part of the main story, but you're going to freak out. And when I played, I found it before it was involved in the main story. I happened upon it on my own, and I liked it so much that I took a picture of it. I can't wait for you.
Can I see the picture?
Yeah, it's like I took it in game, so I'll show it to you on the system. But yeah, and there's more to tell you. It has a very specific name too. It's not like the name of the type of animal. It's this animal's name. Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
I gotta tell you, so far, I felt incredibly excited about the adventure that awaits me, and I also feel
I am LR says, "What the F are the critters of nature?" It's from
critters of nature. They don't know that they're ugly.
It's from Ren and Stimpy. Look up
the
happy joy song.
Yeah. That'll tell you everything.
That'll give you all of that. Yeah.
Buy your
Or
old
maybe it'll
pal Stinky
raise
Whistleteeth.
even more questions.
Yeah, or you'll watch it in no less than when you started.
Well,
Oh, the little critters of nature.
I really
I told
enjoyed
you I
it.
should. But you didn't believe
You
me.
didn't believe me. Why didn't you believe
I
me?
remember saying Stinky Whistleteats when I was a kid, and my parents were like, "Don't say that," and I was like, "Why?" And they're like, "We can't tell you. Don't say it."
I mean, it's really not.
Well, it's not something you want like your kid when you're meeting strangers or whatever. Like when we were like going to buy a house, I'm with the realtor, and I'm like, "Stinky Whistleteats." What the hell's this kid saying?
So I'm completely invested. I'm actually ironically feel very like calm about what's ahead of me in the game because I know that no matter what's happening, I can just
I'm gonna
take a
die.
little break. I'm really
Oh yeah, you can go out and do whatever you want. Yeah, if you're like, if the main story is getting too much for you can go out and whatever.
yeah, and
Wander into somewhere that's about 8 billion times harder than what you're doing.
right, accidentally.
Can't
So-
tell you how many times I was exploring and somebody like shot me with an arrow and I had like 8 hearts and I was dead. 1 hit, dead.
I mean, but that's life.
But now it's dead with real physics. So Link like flops to the ground, and if you're on a hill, he'll be like.
no.
I died falling from a great height once, and my body was like on the ground, like all rumpled
I've gotten
up.
hit with a hammer and like knocked back onto a lower part of the mountain and then rolled like as I was trying to get up, rolled off the cliff and died like by falling a million miles down. Yeah, it happens.
Well, I have a few RIPs. So, I mean, I can't.
When you die, the game map keeps track of the last time you died and it marks it with an X. And if you look at it on the map, it says RIP. RIP. Rocket's got it. Rocket says, "That's very funny. A fly marrying a bumblebee."
I don't know. I'm really excited. I want to play all the time.
Okay. That's it, right? That's all you play?
Yeah.
So I've only been playing Breath of the Wild as well because this is how you know I like this game a lot. So there are very, very, very few games where I want to get everything and do everything. And I do that with every Mario game because I always feel compelled to do it. And this is the first Zelda where I've ever felt compelled to do everything. So I'm getting every shrine. I'm taking pictures of every weapon and monster. So I'm going all over the place. I have to be just under 100 hours worth of playtime. And it's all I want to play, and it's all I'm going to play until I get everything. And I know that's going to take me a really, really long time. I might play other stuff when other people are around just because, you know, play multiplayer and stuff like that. But every Korok seed, yeah, I'm doing them all. I'm doing them all. And I am just doing it by wandering around and exploring, which is the best part. So, you know, I'll see shrines off in the distance and mark them and fly to them or whatever. Or, you know, I'll just see rocks and I'm like, that rock looks suspicious. And I pick it up to find Yahaha.
Yahaha!
The Koroks that are all over the place. I mean, everything's all over the place. The shrines are all over. Koroks are all over. Like I said, I'm trying to get every Korok and Turok.
No, I'm sorry. Whenever you say Korok, I think of like Korok.
Yeah, Billy says people are saying it's going to be 500 hours plus to 100% the game. I mean, if you're not using a guide, I could imagine it being a lot longer. Yeah, like I'm trying to think of the last game I bought a guide for. I think it was Melee, because to unlock certain things, like there was no chance you would ever have any idea of what to do to unlock it. And I'm going to hit a point where I won't be able to find anything else, and I'm going to eventually buy a guide for the Korok seeds, I'm sure, or something like that. I should be able to do all the shrines on my own, maybe miss a couple, but just by exploring again. But yeah, Korok seeds, that's going to be a completely different story. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Man, is it really fun. And the way it lets you do things how you want to do them. Every puzzle has a billion different solutions, and some that Nintendo didn't even think of. So there's one shrine that had, I guess this is kind of spoiler, but not really. It's just a random shrine. And that is, now I encountered this one probably the first day I played. It had a ball in it, and you had to roll the ball through a maze with motion controls.
Oh, boy.
And people got fed up with it. And every time the ball falls out of the maze, another one falls in. And you have to get it to the hole at the end. Oh. So, maze. So, people were getting fed up with it because they're like, I don't like motion controls. I can't do this. It's too touchy, whatever. So they figured out that if you completely flip the maze upside down, it's a flat surface. It's just a flat panel. And they would flip it and roll the ball all the way down that way to get it to where it needs to go. And somebody at another outlet talked to Nintendo and like, did you know you could do that? And they're like, oh, yeah, we knew you could do that. We had testers do that during development because they don't like motion controls. So they're like, there's so many ways to solve puzzles that come up organically. This isn't like, now this game still has puzzles that are Zelda puzzles where it's like you have to solve it this way. But way, 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 way more organically solved puzzles. There's multiple ways to solve almost every kind of puzzle. And I know I've solved puzzles in ways that weren't intended for them to be solved. I've done all kinds of crazy stuff. But yeah, there's just so much there. And I've been playing for so long, and I'm still seeing new things. I'm still seeing whole parts of the map that I've never seen before, enemies that I've never seen, weapons that I've never, like, all kinds of stuff. Just because you have all the towers doesn't mean you've seen every part of the map. You haven't seen anything really of those sections. It's nuts. So yeah, I'm going to be playing that for a very long time. But that's what I spent this week playing, and I guess that's it. Mom Brain, do you have some music for us?
I do. No further questions.
No, it's been so crazy. I want to get back into it probably next week, but I was behind today, and plus I had the live stream screw up. I want to take care of all that stuff, so we will get back into it. I promise.
Okay, folks. Well, then our first song comes to us from our friend Andy the Zombie. Wherever you are, wherever you're from,
I know this.
I know what you're going through, but don't be afraid, don't give in to fear.
Killer Instinct?
Yeah.
Gold?
Yep.
That's why. Let it go. So 90s. Yes. I listened to Killer Instinct soundtrack a billion times, but Killer Instinct Gold, I only ever rented. I loved it, but I haven't heard the soundtrack a lot. But it's just as good.
This is Boardwalk, like Wildwood Boardwalk. I'm about to get my belly button.
Listen to this.
Wait, how are the soundtracks different?
Between the two games, Killer Instinct Gold's a different game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Like how different?
stages and characters.
Oh.
Like there's some returning, but yeah, it's a different game. It's not like
call it Killer Instinct 2?
because that would make sense.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, it makes it sound like it's a special edition.
I could be remembering it wrong, but I know it has new stages and I know it has new characters, and it was on the 64. Man, it's so good. All right. Low Camp. Yeah, exactly. Low Camp says it sounds like something you might find in DDR. Yeah, definitely does.
This one comes from the Sacred Wolf.
Well, Jesus, I love it.
You played it.
What system?
Me.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
No.
Opuna.
Yes.
Yeah, great soundtrack in that game. Opuna. I'm not even into RPGs. That's such an underrated RPG.
I remember you enjoying it.
Yeah, really unique. Give me an Earthbound feeling. Or vibe, I should say vibe.
This one comes from Prat Trap.
Is this a 64 game?
I don't actually know what this is.
Yeah, the violin is low quality enough to make me think.
Yeah, I'm just gonna guess that that South Park game where you shoot the turkeys.
Free.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Is this first party?
Yeah.
All right, how about Mario Party?
No.
First party. Oh, it's not Metroid. It's not Animal Crossing. It's not Mario anything.
No, it's not.
It's not Zelda. Well, we always forget Pokemon. Is
It
it?
is Pokemon.
Yeah, okay. Sun and Moon.
Yep. Thank you.
What is that in Sun and Moon?
Okay, ride. It's someone on like
It
an
is
ox.
really-
Oh.
All right, that was from Prat Trap. Here comes one from
Prat Trap.
Naka.
Wait.
Metroid? Something.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, so let's go Other M.
Yep.
Because it's a song from Super Metroid, but
Right.
Other M'd up.
Messed up.
I wanted to use my missiles, but I couldn't because Adam wouldn't let me, and I'm a woman. Metroid. Okay, stop it.
All right, this one comes from Nate Senpai.
I'm gonna guess this for R type. Extreme G.
No.
Sonic something?
Well,
Supersonic Racing. Sonic Riders.
it is from Supersonic Racing, but it's
Smash Brothers. Wait, let it go. Hold on. Is this the Supersonic Racing? That's what you said it is? So the lady, yeah. Sega! Why do you do this stuff? I mean, it makes me mad, but it makes me happy too. It's
Well, compared to like the Killer Instinct song, it's
the next song comes from Wired.
it's like movie night. The movies are bad but good.
Someone spent a lot of time on this one.
Is it licensed?
I don't think so.
Oh boy. Turn it up a little bit. Not licensed. It's got a little bit of Boy and His Blob feel, but it's not Boy and His Blob. Probably the same company. Well, we were doing great. I don't know. You got a guess? You said it's not licensed.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Wait, what system did you say?
It's got to be NES.
Yeah.
Is
It's
it,
NES.
is it like Deja Vu or something?
No.
Is it? What's going on here?
More music from it.
It sounds like is it Acclaim?
I don't know.
It's got that crappy Acclaim feeling. Sound. Go ahead. I don't know.
Road Blasters.
Road Blasters.
What the hell is Road Blasters?
What is a Road
That was from Wired. Here comes one from Toad 64.
I gotta see if it was Acclaim. Is this The Simpsons? Something?
Yeah.
Clark versus the world?
Nope.
I mean, the Space Mutants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark versus the Space Mutants. And that was from Toad 64. Here comes one from Piplup Water. Anyone?
That sounds familiar. What system is this?
GameCube.
This isn't first party, is it?
It is.
Man,
Oh, it's not that Unreal game, is it?
Nope.
that part's really familiar. All right, well, first party we can do it. Let's start with Pokemon.
Yep.
Okay. Battle
No.
Gale.
No.
Wait, it's not Pokemon?
It is Pokemon.
Okay.
Pokemon on GameCube.
I-
And it's not Battle, and it's not Gale, and it's not Pokemon. It's an RPG. Oh, what was the name of that other one? Pokemon on the GameCube.
Right?
God darn it. It's like there was an RPG, something Darkness.
No.
I think it's Gale of Darkness is what I keep thinking of.
Yeah.
Maybe, it wasn't Battle. That's on another system. Oh, it's like, it's something Greek. Yes?
I don't think so.
Coliseum.
No.
Damn it. Pokemon Revolution.
No.
Pokemon. Pinball. That's not on the GameCube. Is there another song
What do you mean?
after that one?
There's 2 more.
Oh, can we do those so I can come back to
This one comes
Pokemon?
from Mikey3319.
Man, I don't know what it is, but I like it.
It's not. Is it Ninja Turtles related?
I like the name.
So this is NES.
Yeah.
This is good stuff. It's got a little Ninja Turtles and Bayou Billy in it. Is this Konami?
Natsume.
Oh man, what's that? Hockey and Rocky.
No.
What did Natsume do? Something about Ninja?
Nope.
It's not.
It's not like Harvest Moon.
Oh, NES. Yeah, Natsume used to do like more action stuff back then. Something about a warrior.
No.
Kabuki Contemplator.
Oh man, Low G Man.
I don't know if that was even.
Yeah, Natsume. I don't know. That's the problem. Go ahead. I don't know.
Scat. Special cybernetic attack.
Oh
team.
yeah,
We've
yeah.
done that before, haven't we?
This one comes from Glitter Bubble 3.
Well, we started off good. Oh my god. All right, it's Super Nintendo.
Sure is.
What the hell is this? It's not Castlevania.
Nope.
ActRaiser 2.
No.
Demon's Crest.
Nope.
Okay. Is it RPG?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
Oh.
Capcom.
Capcom. Fighting game?
Maybe.
World Heroes.
No.
Capcom, we should be able to get that. It's not licensed.
It might be.
Wait, what was the system again?
Super Nintendo.
Oh,
What do you mean might be licensed?
Is it like Knights of Camelot? Or
Not
Knights of the Round Table?
Knights
Oh!
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, that was like a beat 'em up.
Wow, yeah. Oh, we're back to this one now?
Yeah, well, that's it.
I don't know what it is. Just tell me. Oh, wait.
we didn't
Puzzle something.
No.
All right, I don't know.
Keep thinking.
I don't know.
I'm counting.
Pokemon. It's not Snap. It's not Shuffle. It's not Traze. It's not. This is GameCube, you said.
Was there like a mystery dungeon game on GameCube?
No, it's not. Battle, Coliseum, Revolution.
Nope.
It's. Go ahead. I don't know.
Pokemon XD.
Isn't that Gale of Darkness?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Do we
I
get-
said it.
Do
Yeah.
you get it?
Yeah. So you get 8 out of 10.
Man, all that torture.
Like, I know all the Pokemon games and their subtitles.
Didn't you just look at the box now and you got the subtitle?
Maybe.
Man, oh man,
You know
Giant.
where you can send your music? You can send your music straight to hell. No, you can send it to gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
Where?
gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
Thanks, Mom Brain.
My pleasure.
We did We did good. We're at an hour 36. That's good. That's good. Great job, everybody.
That's good. We did.
All right. That's our show for today. Thanks for joining us. We'll have a little bit of an after show, but everybody remember, play hard.
We do with that.
Goodbye, everybody. After show. What are you doing? Turn it up.
Yeah, we need after show music.
You're gonna leave us without the controls. Guys, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to give in to fear, says Orchid.
Was that a sing?
Yeah,
I didn't know she
sang in the first one. I mean, you never see her singing. They don't talk about her singing this, but it's supposed to be her.
I didn't know that.
That's what I used to masturbate to. No, I just thought it's funny. I just always imagined her singing it. Man, this is what Nintendo needs. They somehow have to get back Killer Instinct from Microsoft and Rare, and they need to not do what Microsoft and Rare did. Although that Killer Instinct's good, they need to take it back to the cheesy style of Killer Instinct, with like the same weird graphics. I buy that for $1. Says Orchid and her giant jiggly jugs. See what it's all about? That's what sells games. Play hard. Man, this is good. All right, guys. The show is pretty much done exporting. I'm glad we could talk about Orchid and singing and boobs and masturbation and whatever else we talked about in the last couple minutes. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Go play some Zelda on Switch or on Wii U, wherever you got it. And I will see you next week. Have a lovely weekend. Goodbye, everybody.